Okay, this game seems to be booting up like it should be. That's nice. It's kind of funny that always happens when you're going to be doing, let's say, an overview, or if you're just going to be testing games and it just randomly crashes. But I just want to try out a different game. So it is possible that we're going to be needing fixing stuff if it doesn't work. But so far so good. And the overall gameplay is just perfect. So one of the things I really need to get for this device is going to be that, let's say, special like grip you're having on AliExpress for $9 or something like that, because that would be so much better. Because that's something I do miss when it comes to the PS Vita. But let's see how fast it will load up into Vita hacks, because that can sometimes take some time. But let's see what we can actually play more. So let's get into some retro emulation, some PlayStation, and let's see how that actually will work and how it will run. The next up thing I wanted to check out is some Polymer Crate 2.0 with the PlayStation. So what is kind of cool, though, we do have the right aspect ratio, so that's absolutely awesome. And you can just actually play these games without any problem. They're running on native resolution. So, but if you want to get into PlayStation, you don't need to buy a PS Vita, because we have so many, let's say, Chinese clones now that can actually be playing PlayStation 1 just fine. But it looks absolutely amazing, and also the audio of this is just great. Another thing I just wanted to see is like what happens if you're going to be, I want to get out of the menu. Yep, same situation. You can just swipe it away, go to the RetroFlow or the Vita X games, and you can just go to the system folder itself and check out a different game. Maybe there's a faster way, but this is the one of the ways I'm doing it. It seems to be working. And you need to get back to the list itself. So PlayStation, that runs fine. So let's see how N64 will run. Wait, this is not like the best propeller game out there or something, but I love the Bug Bumble game. So it's going to be widescreen shenanigans, that is one thing. Oh yeah. And most of the time, most of the emulators don't have an issue with this particular game. Yeah, but N64 emulator is not perfect. But getting into the game, seems to be working fine. Oh, another thing I need to do is lower the lights in my studio. That's much better. Now it's way more visible because the freaking screen is so reflective of the PS Vita. But yep, no problem whatsoever here. At the beginning we had some hiccups, so this is absolutely cool. But what I find interesting to see is like how are there more demanding games when it comes to N64. It's not a really on first situation over here, because cruising user is quite difficult to emulate, but it's for me one of the best tests to see how the overall performance is. Same situation with Bug Bumble that started in the beginning. Normally, the most emulators have tested out on, let's say, the Chinese handhelds. They run okay in the beginning, but they have trouble actually when it comes to, let's say, the overall gameplay in the beginning. But this is the general case when it comes to the PlayStation Vita and N64. It's going to be a hit or miss, so this is not going to be the ultimate N64 emulator. It's cool that it can be used for N64, but no. And also the shoulder buttons, I'm not a big fan of these things. I won't really expect a lot of problems when it comes to the emulation of some 60-bit. In this case, Super NES. Yep, there are a lot of different games you can play, and just needed to try out this particular one. But what is kind of cool that we can just play some old school 16-bit games. It's absolutely a great addition when it comes to the PS Vita. So out of the box I didn't notice that we do miss a lot of other cool platforms. Think about if it goes to the PS Vita and of course PC Engine. So it's cool that we can actually play this, but let's be honest, we have many different devices now that cost a fraction of what this thing costs and can do the same thing. So moving on to the 8-bit part of the NES, And this is a system that we can't find on many devices. There are like the tiny devices out there that can do the same thing. Let's see if they implement the turbo buttons. Okay, so what is interesting, we do have the option to switch different filters, which you can see over here. Nintendo Virtual Console, Nintendo RGB. So that's kind of cool. So as we're going to be playing, we have the option to switch between different filters. But we don't have any turbo buttons whatsoever. Yeah. This one looks the best. So far so good. Also the aspect ratio has been set to the right resolution, or at least we're having the black bars. So it doesn't look that weird and stretched out. And it looks like it hasn't been set. It's only working for the D-pad. But we don't have the filter option with this emulator, so that was only possible with the NES Famicom part. But let's get the speed into the game. But everything seems to be working just fine when it comes to that. And really cool platform is go with the Game Boy, let's say classic, and the color version. So cool to see that we can actually play this on here. But overall a good, let's say, performance, and when it comes to the aspect ratio, Bomber never bores me, you know that? They made so many cool games. I think I bought it so many different versions. I think one of my favorite ones was the one for the PlayStation 3 that we can play with 4 players at the same time. Oh yeah, it speeds up. There we go. 3 bombs! And also the music of the PS Vita is just amazing. Is it like maximum? No, it wasn't even maximum. Wow. Oh man, I think this is one of the best soundtracks when it comes to pinball games on the Game Boy. Oh yeah, shortcut. But overall, the emulation performance, all the old stuff, this is just fine. I wouldn't say like you should buy a PS Vita, but this is just an extra bonus. I keep messing it up. Did it die? Nope, no extra features when it comes to the shoulder buttons. Okay, Mega Drive audio goes not that loud like the Game Boy, so let's crank up the volume, and oh boy, yeah, this sounds really good. Alright, all the sound effects are here. And the D-pad, even this thing is so small, I love this clicky D-pad. Also, the analog stick hadn't been configured for the people who just want to know I want to play with an analog stick. But emulation performance 60-bit is just amazing. Just great.